where I begin with this work is that we're living in a moment in time when the idea of the individual in society, the role that we play, is shifting and kind of has to shift. Like, I zoom out a little bit from the water industry and go, we can't any longer really live in this world where we are consumers. We can't relate to the natural world as consumers. We can't be consumers of nature. We can't be consumers of products and services and that be our only agency. We are living in a time when the challenges we face are such that we actually need everyone on the pitch, is kind of the phrase I would use. We need to tap into the ideas and energy and resources of everyone, because it's only by doing that that we're really going to be able to come up with solutions to the challenges we face. And that, nowhere is that more true than in the water industry. And I think the water sector, companies in the water sector face very serious questions, and rightly so, but we have to understand that we all have a stake in that. The idea that we can just turn on a tap and expect everything to work for us, and that the cost of it will never go up, and there will never be infrastructure costs associated with that we can't be protected from that any longer. Like the relationship between the individual and the world, the individual and the water system, as part of that, is something that is changing in this moment in time. For me, one of the starting points, I think, is to step out to that idea of ourselves actually as living in bioregions, living in water catchments, living with rivers. Like, I was telling the story earlier of the river in New Zealand that has now been granted legal personhood, and that can sound kind of radical and hippie or whatever, but actually really it's a deep human wisdom. Like, the reason that came about in New Zealand was because the local Maori tribes essentially said, like, we can't be part of these political processes unless the river is part of the political processes, because we are the river is us. And that sort of understanding, like I say, it can sound from where we are like it's just off the charts, but actually when you start to think of it like that, like, we are completely dependent on our water supplies, we are completely dependent on our water systems. And starting from that place actually also, I think, can be very exciting and generative. Like, the idea that we could start a conversation about our water systems from a place of shared love of the River Tyne, rather than from a place of what does the impact of this infrastructure project on you as an individual or on you as a household. Like, when we start there, we start in the consumer story, we start from a conception of the human that says that all we can really hope to do is minimise the damage that individual does. When you start from a conception of people as citizens, when you start from the idea of people as part of the natural world rather than separate from it, then you go, how can we actually involve people as communities? How can we remake those connections? And how can we mobilise a group of people to actually care for their nature?